Celtics going 7. Philadelphia with a 106-93 win last night over Boston. Tyrese Maxey with 30. Joel Embiid, who's been great over the last couple of games and really has been great this season when he plays. It's just he doesn't play that much. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Paul George with 23. Kelly Oubre, a pretty 14. And VJ Edgecombe with 14 last night as well. Jason Tatum got banged up with a calf injury. The opposite calf, or the opposite leg of his previous injury, did come back in the game. And Philly is trying to be the second team in history to win a playoff series while being down or losing 2 games by 30 or more points. The first team happened in your town. And it was the first time that Nuno, our producer, actually went to St. Louis. 1959.
Yep.
St. Louis Hawks.
My St. Louis Hawks.
Yeah, Nuno was there producing those games, presented by Gusto. He was there. And that potentially could be the time that we reference now if Philadelphia pulls this off. And you know what's interesting about this?
Tell me.
I think almost every single Knicks fan is rooting for the Celtics. Because the matchup for New York in the next round is much better against Boston. The Knicks are built to beat Boston. They are not built necessarily to beat Philadelphia. That's not to say that they wouldn't beat Philadelphia, but I think when you acquire OG Anunoby and you acquire Mikal Bridges, what are you doing? You're acquiring one guy to guard Tatum, the other guy to guard Brown. That's what you're doing.
OG has not gotten enough love this
He's the best
series.
player on the team.
He's been so steady and
consistent.
consistent.
I said that. He's the best player on the team. OG Anunoby is the best basketball player on the New York Knicks. He's not the biggest all-star. He's not the he doesn't score the most, but how I look at basketball is you better be great on offense and you better be great on defense. He's the best player on the Knicks.
I put that in my notes. We have not given him enough credit for his consistency during this series. He's been an anchor in so many ways. But Nuno, can you confirm, would you rather face the Celtics than the 76ers?
So twofold. Yes, because I do think the matchup is slightly better, but more importantly, I don't want to sit in this damn room with Pat and Cam because like all of a sudden now Pat's a 76er fan again.
You know,
like,
very good point. How many times did Pat give up on them all year?
He said
say,
it's Flyers. It's time for the Flyers.
Yeah, we've gone
I think
to him.
he said it the other day.
He did, Courtney. You're 1,000% right. 1,000% right.
1,000.
And now this team won last night. They're looking really good. I'm going to steal Nuno's point. I mean, I credit him. I don't want to hear if Boston loses this series gap year.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Don't give me the gap year, Michigas. You cannot do that.
Not with the way they were playing when Tatum returned and heading into the playoffs. We were putting them in Sharpie to get to the finals out of the East.
That's right.
So, no, absolutely not.
Joel Embiid postgame on playing the Celtics and going to a Game 7 now.
I mean, I've been playing these guys for so long. I'm tired of losing to them. So we have a chance to accomplish, something special. I mean, they're a great team, and you look at everything they have. That's a super team. So we just got to go in there with the mindset we've had for the last, 2 games, last 2 wins, and one play at a time. Tough environment, but we've been there. We won 2 games over there, so just keep doing what we've been doing, and we're going to be fine.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Has Embiid somehow now become likable?
Why? Because he came back early from his appendectomy.
Was he ever not likable?
Yeah, there were times where he was like trolling and they were always underachieved. Where like
he's been the face of the process, which has come up short.
Sure,
and that's been unlikable at times, especially when Morey Morey wasn't there for the process
but
part.
Don't you conflate the two.
Understood. But I'm just saying, like, he almost feels underdogish now because the team is not built around him anymore. Nor
it's a
should it
Tyrese
be.
Maxey team?
It's Maxey and Edgecombe, as it should be. But Embiid, like, I find myself happy for him in a way I wasn't happy for him when he was the focal point of the team.
I don't know if I agree with you guys that he's not likable or that he wasn't likable. I think it was a product of really bad circumstances with his health. I mean, the trolling thing, whatever. Like, Kevin Durant trolls. We don't say he's an unlikable figure. Joel Embiid did.
Almost everyone but me says he's unlikable.
Joel Embiid did that, and he was never able to back it up with wins on the court. So I don't think that made him unlikable. I just think that made him somebody who was falling way short of expectations. But you're right with the underdog thing here. I mean, they're the 7 seed. This is a team that we expected wouldn't be here. We didn't even know if he'd be here. Right. 19 days removed from the appendectomy, he comes back, has a damn near triple-double last night. He's changed the complexion of this series, and I think because like these are two actually like with the storylines of the season with Jason Tatum and the injury to his Achilles, and was he going to be able to come back at all this year, and seeing them get the 2 seed with him in the fold, and Joel Embiid and his injury situation, multiple injuries this year. This team now 1 game away from moving on to the second round, forcing a game 7. I think both of these teams are the most likable teams in the playoffs right now.
Ooh.
For that reason.
Really?
You could root for either of these teams.
More than the Spurs?
Yeah, Wemby is a gem.
I do
Mitch
love
Johnson, their coach that like no one knows, replacing Pop and the way in which he adores him. And
Wemby has a quote every game that we're like, this is the greatest thing an athlete's ever said. Now he's like, I'm not going to let society tell me what to do with my emotions. I'm going to emote. And we're like, yes, vulnerability from a man. Amazing.
I think it's lame for me to say, oh, well, in the East, because there's so many fewer teams left, but you can't go wrong with liking either of these teams because of how they got here. But to Evan's bigger point about the 76ers embracing sort of an underdog role, specifically with Joel Embiid, because you heard him there in that clip. They haven't won a lot. They haven't won, frankly, anything since he's been there. And it is only a first-round series, but to force a Game 7 against a team that many expected to either sweep you or get rid of you in 5 games, that's about as underdog as it gets when you think of what that's meant for him getting back to the series and being a part of why they are still alive right now.
I guess sometimes I'm maybe too influenced by Pat Costello, Philly fan, who has said multiple times.
Over it.
Well, yeah, but Pat has said multiple times, I'll drive Embiid to the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And, like, Pat, have you found what's happening now with your squad a little bit more likable in the way in which they won, and Maxey and Edgecombe and Paul George and Embiid, kind of the old vets, leading the way in a weird way?
The plane seats are ready still. Game 7 matters a lot here.
Plane seats are ready.
But, Pat, like this is technically overachieving if they get there. So
I guess.
Well, that's a
Overachieving.
tricky one, Courtney. It's overachieving once they got to the 7th seed, and then I'm in agreement on that. Before this season, I don't know that we would look at a 7th seed for Philly as overachieving.
No, totally agree with that. But let's look at the here and now. We can't go back and say, well, if they wouldn't have had Paul George's suspension, if they wouldn't have had the injury, if they wouldn't have had the trades, like. Right now, this is overachieving.
That's fair.
But you're still ready to pack it in for them and break up this core, Pat, if they don't advance to the second round. That's what I'm hearing.
You mean if they do the same thing that they've done for the past, whatever, decade? Yeah. I'm pretty much over it.
I got to tell you, both of these points are beyond fair. That's why a Game 7 between these two teams is going to be fascinating. Boston, this whole great season, it's not a gap year to lose in the first round. Philly, oh my God, we may be the underdogs. We have a revival of this franchise to lose in the first round. Game 7 Saturday night between these two teams is going to be very, very interesting. An MVP was sent home last night. We will get to that after I tell you all about Marriott. I cannot get over a week and a day ago. We're hanging in the Marriott Inner Circle at the NFL.